Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, with a cup of tea. Now I'm ranting. I've got rants, and I've actually got two rants, and I'm just going to go straight into the rants. Now, the first rant is the most important one, and today, 4 men were found guilty of the murder of Ashley Dale. Now, this is just talk about twonks. You know, twonks is a popular word of mine, is a word that I use a lot, trying to be polite about horrible, horrible people. So this, according to the, so this is a poor Ashley Dale. She lived in Liverpool. She obviously did not have maybe very good taste in boyfriends because her boyfriend was a drug dealer. And due to, who knows what the source of the, apparently this is all over some grievance going back a long time that was reignited. And while Ashley was working, seems like a lovely girl, 28 years old. Here's a picture of Ashley. This is Ashley. She was a council worker. She seemed to have a career, etc. What was she interested in this twonk for? Her boyfriend. Anyway, we can't blame her for that. Her partner was Lee Harrison, and he apparently was the intended victim of this terrifying attack, which basically she was sat in her house, in her home. If you are not safe in your home, where are you safe? It's disgusting. Now, he was not there. Her boyfriend Lee was not there. And this twonk broke in, sprayed the house with a machine gun. How did he even have a fucking machine gun in the first place? Sprayed the house with the machine gun, went upstairs, sprayed the bedrooms with the machine gun. He claims he did not know anybody was there, but, believe that you believe anything, in my opinion. And poor Ashley, she died. So let's just have a look.
The man who has admitted shooting Ashley Dale at her home in Liverpool has told the court the past 12 months have been torture for him.
Yes, council worker Ashley was killed last summer. James Whittam, who admits manslaughter but denies murder, was the gunman.
In all, 5 men are on trial in connection with Ashley's death.
So this twonk says that the last year has been torture for him.
It was James Whittam's turn to give evidence today.
Victoria Grimes was at court to hear what he said, and she joins us now. Victoria.
Yes, Gamal. Well, Ashley Dale's family were once again in court to hear 41-year-old James Whittam give evidence for the second day. Now, he told
41 years old. So he's not some kid, like getting led astray or whatever. He's fucking 41 years old and he's still just lying around smoking marijuana and shooting people. He's not made anything of his life, and he's gone out and took somebody's life, a young girl who was making something of her life. He's made nothing of his life. 41 years old, and that's what he's doing, still just selling drugs. And apparently they just lie around getting drugged up together, and then these brilliant ideas come out. Oh, yeah, I know what we'll do. We'll get a fucking machine gun and just go off and murder someone.
The jury that what happened in the early hours of the 21st of August last year was a moment of madness. Of course, that was the night that Ashley was shot dead at her home in Old Swan after an alleged feud between 5 men accused of her murder and her partner, Lee Harrison. Now, James Whittam has admitted manslaughter but denies murder. He said he was wearing a balaclava that night and he fired shots with a Scorpion submachine gun to send what he described as a warning to Lee Harrison.
Because that's what you do. When you want to send someone a warning, you get a fucking Scorpion submachine gun and you go into someone's house and spray it everywhere. There could have been, well, she had a little dog. I think her little dog is okay. I don't know. But, what a load of crap. So he's saying he's denying murder. You go into someone's house with a submachine gun and spray it randomly without looking, probably, because he was probably stoned out of his head anyway, without even looking around properly. And he didn't notice that she was there. Of course he didn't.
Who he claimed had robbed him. He said he had no idea that Ashley was there. He did not see her and he did not hear her. He said he only found out that she was dead the following day. Now, he's described the last
He wouldn't have heard her because she would have been terrified. She was probably cowering somewhere.
year as torture for himself, saying, I've got to spend my life knowing what I did to that girl. He said he's been unable to sleep and has nightmares.
Good, fucking good. I hope you never sleep again. I hope you have nightmares for the rest of your life, and I hope you get a nightmare in prison. I hope people sort you out. It's just how what a narcissist. So where's his, so even in saying that, he's not really saying sorry. He's not saying, oh well, I know the hurt I must have caused to her family, and I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. He's saying, oh, you don't know what it's been like for me. Last year's been absolute nightmare for me.
He also told the court that no one else was involved in the shooting. And when asked by the prosecution if he was the fall guy for the others, he said, no, that's not true. They couldn't do that. Nobody could do that. James Witham then went on to describe how after the shooting, he and one of his co-defendants, Joseph Pearce, had gone to a hotel in St Helens. He'd wanted to have a swim, a steam and a sauna to help him relax, he said. My brain was doing overtime.
Oh, a swim, a sauna, to relax. He had to relax because it's such hard work being a drug dealer and a murderer and a stoner. It's such hard work. So he needed to relax. Do you know these people? How it just makes me so angry. There was she going to work every day, trying to make a career. And these men who have done nothing with their lives come along and take it from her. And then he needed to go and have a sauna and relax.
Now, as I said, James Witham denies manslaughter. He also he admits manslaughter, but denies murder. He and his co-defendants, Sean Zeiss, Niall Barry, Ian Fitzgibbon and Joseph Pearce, all deny murder. They deny conspiracy to murder and conspiracy to possess a prohibited weapon. A sixth man, Callum Radford, denies assisting an offender. The trial is due to continue here tomorrow morning.
Right, now we know 4 men have been found guilty. Now, the other thing I want to say is, here she is with her little dog. Oh. This is her little Dachshund Daria. That dog will be wondering, look, you can see how much, that dog will be wondering where the hell she is as well. I've had a year of torture. Yeah, whatever. He's saying it's all down to me. Well, he'd be terrified to say anything about the others because they'll probably do him in. Apparently, her own boyfriend was not helpful with the police because, they all stick to he's not, God, it's mad. He won't help the police. He wouldn't help the police. He was nonchalant, apparently, with the police because that's their code, isn't it? Don't speak to the police. Yeah, go and machine gun down a 28-year-old girl. Are you telling me you go into a house with a machine gun, you don't check very carefully that there's not somebody in there before you start? I mean, you wouldn't even do it, but let's say you were doing it for a warning. You go in there and don't even check that there's not anybody there first. You just go it because you're stoned. That's why. Anyway, so let's look at the other ones. Gosh, there she is, bless her. Now, apparently on the night that it happened, I just want to look at the result, because now today the verdict is through. Let's have a look what the verdict was and who else was found guilty. Let's see. My God, I was so angry when I read this. Right, that should come up now. Yeah. So today, 4 men have been found guilty of murdering Ashley. So yes, she was found with a gunshot wound in the garden of her home in Liverpool in the early hours of the 21st of August last year. Apparently she had 1 bullet in her stomach. So I don't know if she was on the floor when he came in. I don't know where she was as he came in. She may have been trying to hide in a corner behind a door, whatever. But anyway, poor girl. So apparently that evening she had been texting her friends saying that she felt vulnerable, that she felt, you know, she was scared about what was going to happen because she knew all this thing was accelerating. So apparently the intended target was her boyfriend, Lee Harrison, and he was described in court as a drug dealer who was in a feud with a rival gang, but he was not in the property at the time of the attack. So the ones that have been found guilty, he was the one that shot the gun, James Witham, 41. 41. For fuck's sake, get a life. Get to 41 and you haven't got a proper job. You're just sitting around smoking dope all the time and going around shooting women. Anyway, Joseph Pearce, 29, Niall Barry, 26, and Sean Zeiss, 28. All found guilty of murdering Miss Dale and conspiring to murder Harrison. Another man, Ian Fitzgibbon, was cleared of the charges, and another man, Callum Radford, was found not guilty of assisting an offender. So he had forced open Witham had forced open the door of her home in Old Swan before firing 10 bullets in her dining room. One of them hit Miss Dale in the abdomen as she stood by the back door. He also fired 5 bullets into the wall on an upstairs bedroom. Sorry, I'm getting a bit upset. I try not to get upset when I'm doing a rant because I'm trying to get angry, but I can't help but get upset as well. So he did that to send a firm message to Lee Harrison. Anyway, so Joseph Pearce described as a fellow foot soldier. How dare they give themselves names like that, soldier? They're not fucking soldiers. They're drug dealers. They're drug addicts. They are not soldiers. God. Anyway, they'd been outside and slashed her tyres. Her car alarm was going off. So she had messaged her boyfriend to tell him, you know, that this was happening. And he replied to her message 20 minutes later and said, ha, 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 you think you're in a horror movie? This is her boyfriend. Nice guy. Are you okay? Alive? And then at 7 minutes past 12, half an hour before she was shot, less than half an hour before she was shot, Ashley replied, no, I'm dead, for a joke. So Ashley's family broke down in tears as the trial was showing the final messages before she died. Now, I don't know what those messages were, though. I don't know if they're available, but just disgusting. Poor girl. So that's it. Life snuffed out by a no-hoper who's done nothing with his life and thinks he's a big man because he's got a fucking Kalashnikov or whatever he had. Makes me so angry. I'm so angry. And you can imagine her mum looks so young as well. So she had her quite young, I think. So absolute spit of her. You know, you can imagine how they feel, the family. Terrible. And how scary, though, to live there in that area and be scared. I mean, there'd be people that'd be scared of saying anything because it could be them next. How do you deal with these kind of people? You know, these are bad people. Bad people. I mean, we've had a little here in Spain. That this is another reason why I don't really like swimming in the sea. We had a couple of bodies washed up that were thought to have been killed in drug altercations, wrapped up thrown into the sea, and they just washed up on the beach. People walking on the beach. There was quite a few all at one time, or in a short space of time, that were found on the beaches, and it just put me off. I just thought, imagine if you were swimming in the sea and there's a body floating next to you. So, you know, but drugs, all to do with drugs. Okay, so rest in peace, Ashley. I hope you've got some sort of peace now, knowing that they have at least been found guilty. God knows what the sentencing will be. Should be life. Should be life. Life should mean life when you go out and do something like that. You know, that guy, he can say for all he wants that he's had a terrible year and he's not been able to sleep for what he did to that girl. He didn't even fucking look to see if there was anybody in there. He just went in shooting. He didn't care if there was anyone in there. So that's my first rant. Now I've got another rant. That's the most important rant. That's, you know, important. This is, don't get wrong, this is important too, but it's important in a different way. So what I want to show you now is, did you know that today Lord David Cameron was inaugurated in the House of Lords? So maybe if you watched my rants before, you will know that Rishi Snaky Sunak made David Cameron, or asked Charlie Boy, the king, to make David Cameron a lord, which King Charles Spaniel phoned up David Cameron, made him a lord over the phone, and today he's been inaugurated properly. He made him a lord so that he could be his foreign the Secretary of State, and replace Cruella Braverman. So just shows you how things can be manipulated, doesn't it, when it suits people, you know. And they, oh, anyway, don't get me started on that. So I thought we'll have a little look at him being inaugurated first of all. And do you know, to me it just looks pretty ridiculous, to be honest. But let's see if I can find the video. I need to share it. Says page not found. Hang on. Said you might be following an outdated link. No, not taking it off, have they? Where's it gone? Oh, it's gone. Was literally on there 5 minutes ago when I set up this stream, this video. Oh gosh, sometimes I just can't even look down the news because I get a run on for everything. Let's see. See if we can find the video. The video is right there on Sky News. It's completely disappeared. Okay. Wonder why? How odd. Was literally just looking at it a minute ago. It's got to still be here, surely. Okay, well, the video of his inauguration has disappeared off Sky News website for some reason. I wonder if it'll be on BBC. How strange. Probably everyone was laughing at it, so they took it off. Very odd. It's not on BBC either. Okay, well, never mind. He was inaugurated today. So he is Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton. And he was, there was a video of him being inaugurated. And I'll tell you what, if you listen to the honours that are bestowed on him, you know, the guy that's sort of reading out what this entails was saying, oh, you know, this entitles you to all the privileges of being a lord and blah, de, blah, de, blah. You know, it was just awful to listen to. It was like listening to something from, you know, the Dark Ages. It's like, so, you know, what is this House of Lords? Why is it even still there? So that led me to look, because, you know, I've looked at the House of Lords before. I've thought, you know, I just think it should be abolished. I honestly do. But what do you think? Let me know what you think. Do you think the House of Lords? It's not that I think that there shouldn't be a second chamber, maybe. I don't know, but this is the House of Lords is used to bestow favours on people. It's, you know, we've got a Russian who's been given made a lord, that Boris Johnson's mate, Lebedev, he made him a lord. I just don't understand. Someone maybe can explain to me how you end up with a Russian in the British House of Lords. Even if you agreed with it, surely you cannot agree that a Russian should be there. I don't know. He's not even British. So how is he a British lord? Anyway, so what I decided to do was look and see who are the members of the House of Lords. And, you know, because I'd got talking about it with my son, and it's very interesting. Now, of course, there's a lot of political appointments. You know, it's mainly made up of Conservative peers, but there are Labour peers as well. And there are people there that have been made lords because of their ancestry. They're you know, hereditary peers. So you can see here, so there are 786 lords or members of the House of Lords. So they could be lords, they could be baronesses or whatever. So we've got a couple of crossbench ones. So when they're crossbench, it means they just vote with whatever they think. They don't go with Labour, they don't go with Conservatives. Accepted hereditary lord, this says. What does that mean? I suppose that means he was born a lord. He's a current member of the House of Lords. So presumably he, you know, it's his inheritance. He was born a lord. Here's another one, Lord Addington, Liberal Democrat. Lord Labour life peer. So if they're a life peer, it means that they've been given that title for their services to whatever. But when they die, their family, you know, their offspring don't inherit the title. It's just valid for as long as they're alive. Baroness Adams of Craigieley, Labour. Lord Adebowale, crossbench, life peer. Lord Agnew, life peer. Lord Ahmad of Wimbledon, Conservative. Lord Allardyce, Liberal Democrat. Lord Allen of Hallam. And don't forget, David Cameron is Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton. It sounded like something off a comedy show. Honest to God, it was. I'm really surprised that that's disappeared, because you know, that was up there on the website. Lord Ali, Lord Alton, Lord Alliance. Some of them have got no photo. So most of them, it looks like, are life peers. You've got the odd one here. We've got Lord Altrincham, Conservative. What a surprise. He's hereditary peer. Lord Anderson of Ipswich, Baroness Anderson, Labour. Baroness Amos, Labour. Baroness Andrews, Labour. Lord Anderson, Labour. Now, there's a couple. I went to find some of these you'll never have heard of. I'm sure I've not heard of a lot of them. Lord Archer. This was the one. Lord Archer of Weston-super-Mare. No photo. That's strange. Non-affiliated. Isn't this Jeffrey Archer? Jeffrey Howard Archer, who's been to prison. He's been in prison. He was in prison for years. And he is a lord. Jeffrey Archer, the novelist. How is he a lord? You know, he was made a lord in 1999. Surely he should have. And it says non-affiliated, but he was a Conservative MP, so of course he's affiliated. They would think we're stupid. Honest to God, I do think they do think the British public are stupid. Really, really. So they think because his picture's not there, nobody will realise it's Jeffrey Archer who went to prison for, was it fraud or something? Let's have a look. So it's all right for him. If you went to prison, you probably wouldn't even be able to get a job when you came out. He's not only, he's kept his lordship. Jeffrey Archer. Makes me so angry. So he's Baron Archer of Weston-super-Mare. Oh, sorry, I've put the Spanish one on. That's no good, is it? Because you won't be able to read that. Let me find the English one. Now, he wrote some good books. Cain and Abel was a good book. Yeah, he was a good author. Yeah, he had a financial scandal. So he was a member of Parliament up to 1974, Conservative Party. He was deputy chairman of the Conservative Party. See, is it going to say about when he went to prison? Gosh, he was accused of stealing 3 suits from a department store as well. Where is it going to tell us that he went to prison? Yeah, perjury. That's right. On the 26th of September, Archer was charged with perjury and perverting the course of justice. Anyway, he went to prison, to Belmarsh, a Category A prison. And how long was he in prison for? But anyway, he's been in prison. At the end of the day, he's been in prison, but now he's a baron still. So there you go. Oh, sorry, I've just turned off my other thing as well. So there you go. It's full of, good people. See, to me, this is why it's not even necessarily that I don't agree with giving people awards and things like that when they've done great things in their life. But I don't believe in hereditary peerage. I don't believe in ruling families, where people just, that's how you end up with the dregs, isn't it? Because people are just, saying that they're special just because they were lucky enough to be born into these families. Now, if somebody has done a lot of good work, served the country, fair enough, but not a Russian, not Lord Archer, who's been to prison. He's hardly what's the word? An example of how ideal people should be in society, because he's been to prison. Oh, that's interesting. We've got Earl Attlee. I wonder, is he any relation? It says, oh God, please don't be a relation to Attlee. Can't be, can he? Because he's a Conservative, and he can't be a relation of Clement Attlee, can he? Please tell me he isn't. Anyway, I don't even want to look into that because it'll upset me too much. I'll look into it another time. So, yeah, there's another hereditary one, Earl Attlee. Baroness Bakewell of Hardington Mandeville. It just sounds so ridiculous. Honestly, it does. Let's go along a bit more, see if we can find anyone else that we maybe... Oh, Fluella Benjamin. I bet you didn't know she was a baroness, did you? Or maybe you did. She's a Liberal Democrat. So wasn't Fluella Benjamin an actress or something? I think she did quite a lot of work for racial equality and stuff like that. So I presume that's why she's been made into a baroness. Let's have a look. I just think they never think that people will ever look into it. Because you know who we're going to come across here? We're going to come across Priti Patel and Jacob Rees-Mogg, who have recently been made baron and a baroness, or lord and lady. I don't know which. Baroness Blower. Lord Blunkett, he was a Labour MP, wasn't he? Oh, has he been made a lord as well? He was a rubbish MP, Boateng. So, oh my God, Ian Botham. Well, they probably gave him an award because at least he did contribute to cricket, of course. So, yeah, fair enough, non-political. So you get this cross between political people who've been made lords through political reasons and ones that have been made through services to society or whatever. Karen Brady, Conservative, Baroness Brady. Of course, her boss in The Apprentice, he's a lord as well. Melvyn Bragg. The Lord Bishop of Bristol. Dear me. Now, well, let's just carry on and go through and see who we can find. Baroness Bull. It's a load of bull. And there he is, Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton. You twonk. Sorry. Oh, Lord Campbell of Pitt and Weem. I've been to Pitt and Weem. Didn't know there was a lord that had come from there. Aye. The Lord Archbishop of Canterbury. See, this annoys me a little bit because I don't mind Justin. You know, he says some quite nice, but really just propping up all that system, just propping up this unfair system. You know, I don't see how there'll ever be equality in Britain as long as the Lords exist. I just don't see it. You know, maybe you disagree with me, I don't know, but and why have these not got their photos there, I wonder? Why not? And so it seems like if you get to be a bishop or, you know, high up in religion, you get to be a lord as well. I wonder what Jesus would have made of that, because God said, do not make things in my image. You know, so I'm sure that God and Jesus would not approve of these titles, like they're better than anybody else. How are they better than anybody else? Aye. Now, some people will never get to be lords or ladies. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Nadine Dorries, I don't know if you know who she is, but she's from a working class family in Liverpool. And she did not get offered a peerage, though she was expecting one. Apparently, it was blocked by Rishi Sunak. She says it's because she did not fit into the mould. I don't know if that's true or not. She was a big friend of Boris Johnson's. He put her forward for a peerage or to be a baroness, and Rishi Sunak blocked it, apparently. Yeah. So I'm just looking down. Let's see if there's anybody else. A lot of these people I don't know. No idea who they are. There's another bishop, the Lord. It's all these bishops. God. Now, sometimes the Lords can play an important part, I suppose, of toning down things when, you know, things. But really, if the system in Britain, you vote for your MP and your MP is supposed to represent you. And they go to the House of Commons and they're supposed to vote in your, you know, for their constituents who elect them, they're supposed to vote accordingly. But of course, they don't always. They vote according to party. You know, they're not supposed to do that, I don't think. But yeah, just looking at all these, why is there so many of them as well? Why is there so many of them? And they don't get paid a wage, by the way, but they get an allowance for every day they attend, and they get their expenses. And of course, they get the title, which I'm sure takes them a long way with lots of things. Now, of course, there was also Boris Johnson made that young girl a baroness, which she'll probably come up on here, that everybody thinks possibly was his daughter. I don't know if it was or not. I'm just repeating what people, it's possible. There's a distinct lack of photos on here. Why don't they want the photo on here? This guy, I know, is that Goldsmith. He was given that peerage after he helped out Boris Johnson after the last election. He's a friend of Carrie's. I know that for a fact because I was following it at the time. I mean, what do they do? I mean, who are they responsible to? So they weren't. Oh, this is Baroness Hallett. She's the one that's conducting the COVID inquiry at the moment. She's been on telly all day today. Let's see. Gosh, there's so many of them. Oh, I think I might have missed a page there, but anyway. I'm going dizzy with them. There's that many of them. He looks quite young, doesn't he? What's it? Baroness? Oh, it's a woman. Sorry. Okay, but she looks quite young. Just think, what have they done? You know, I don't understand. I mean, if you think it, you know, if you think it is a good idea to have a House of Lords, let me know, because I'm interested. I'm always interested to get different opinions, because maybe you can shed some light on the fact of, you know, why is it necessary? Lord Kinnock. So, of course, that will be Neil Kinnock. Don't know why there's no photo of him there. Baroness Lawrence of Clarendon. So she is the mother of Stephen Lawrence. And that court case, do you remember? Stephen Lawrence was killed by a sort of a group of, in a racially motivated attack, and his mum campaigned for all sorts of things. And in the end, she was made a baroness. Oh, there he is, Lord Lebedev. There's our Russian member of the House of Lords. His full title is the Lord Lebedev. The Lord Lebedev. And his name is Eugenie Alexandrovich. He's a big mate of Boris's. Dear me. So, sorry, I am just... Oh, we've got the voting records here. I should have looked at this. No voting record to show. He just wanted to be called the Lord Lebedev. God, has he actually experienced? No experience. Focus areas. No focus areas. No voting record. Spoken contributions. Oh, he made a speech on the 4th. Let's have a look. Kings. Oh, here we go. So he made a speech. I thank all noble lords for their kind words. First, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to speak in this debate and mark the 3 exceptional maiden speeches. Congratulations and welcome. My great-grandfather, Mikhail, where's it gone, was a deputy in Stalin's war cabinet. Oh, and he goes on. So he had a quite long talk about freedom of speech. Anyway, I will even defend the Tory MP Andrew Bridgen, who was abruptly sacked for his views on COVID vaccinations. I equally support the right of Jeremy Corbyn to his views on Hamas. I might find them repellent, but I will defend his right to hold them. Okay. When you muzzle, cancel and sack people simply because they champion their honestly held opinions, you are playing with fire. Oh gosh, it's too long to read everything out, but I've got to go. I will go back over that. Oh no, I didn't know that you could find all this, like the speeches that the Lords have made and things. It's very interesting. Sorry, it's interesting for me. You probably think, oh God, what's she going on about? It's boring. But I do quite like politics, I'm afraid. Sorry, you might have gathered. So we'll see. Maybe he has made a positive contribution, but he's still, sorry, in my eyes, just pure and simple. If you're not British, you can't be a Lord. I don't think that's rocket science, is it? You can't be a Lord in the British House of Lords if you're not actually British. Just makes sense to me. Oh, there's Dennis Lilly, quite a lot of old politicians. Lord Lumba. The Marquess of Lothian. Lord Lowe of Dalston. Lord Lucas, not Lucan. That was a mystery that's never been solved, isn't it? Lord Bishop of Manchester. And you just automatically, it must be if you're a bishop, you just go into the House of Lords. Lord Mandelson, Peter Mandelson, no photo of him for some reason. I'm a bit aware that I might be boring you, so sorry. Let's see, how many are there? Maybe I can't go through all of them without boring you silly. Then you'll be doing a rant about me. Rant of the day, Vicky was just boring to death, going on about all these lords and ladies, baronesses. So how do you fancy being a baroness? or a lord, or a baron, or a marquess. Lord Patton. God, where does it go on to? Surely 39's the last one. Have I gone to 39? Yeah, I mean, there's nearly 800 of them, so I haven't really got time to go through more. But anyway, you get my point, I hope. I'd just like to know, I don't know what many of those have done to, you know, maybe they have done something fantastic, fabulous. But from what I can work out about some of them, like Lord Lebedev, all he's done is be Boris Johnson's friend. Probably gave a massive donation to the Conservative Party. So that's my rant for today. One, that poor girl Ashley, rest in peace Ashley. I hope that those 4 twonks that have been found guilty of her murder today, I hope they get a massive sentence, and I hope they have a really rotten time in prison. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but I do. And then Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton. I'm just going to have one more look on Sky News to see if they've put why that inauguration where maybe not many people. Here it is. Hang on. It's reappeared. I think it's reappeared. Let's just have a look, because I just want, to me, it just looked ridiculous. But anyway, let me know what you think.
Ya es Black Friday y en Iberostar Beachfront Resorts. Ahorra hasta un 40% en tus vacaciones y viaja con un mejor propósito.
I, David, Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton, do swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles, his heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
A load of rubbish. So let's not forget what David Cameron has done for the country. You know, he totally made a cock up of everything. He brought in the Brexit referendum. It went the wrong way for him because he wasn't expecting it. He had to resign. He's gone off. He's been embroiled in financial scandals, you name it. And now he's been made a lord for being crap. There you go. So we can all sleep better tonight knowing that David Cameron, Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton, is now in office. So we can all sleep easier in our beds. Okay, that's it. Remember to live and love carefully, wisely, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Until then, may your God, may your Lord go with you. Bye.